Do your worky magic.
Yeah, I feel put on the spot. But yeah, come in, fill all the seats. Screw it, that's everyone. Start.
Everyone come in. Awesome.
Do you want the violence?
Huh?
Do you want this?
I like the violence. It's big and fuzzy. I feel like I'm eating an ice cream cone. Terrible idea. Never do that. So, hi everybody. Hi. Welcome to my Q&A. Sorry I had to wait 24 hours for it. I blame the airlines and the weather. The first part of yesterday. So, how many of you were aware of my travel woes? Did word get around here? I didn't have Ebola. Everyone else thinks that like Dallas has become a hellscape for zombies and Ebola-infected madmen going around puking and crapping on each other. So basically nothing has changed since before Ebola. But no, thank you for coming. I'm really, really sorry that I missed the first day of the con. I spent it in an airport. 14 hours in the airport. Yeah. It was disgusting. They're like, get on the plane so we can wait. Nope, we've been on the plane too long. We have to legally cart you back to the airport so you can wait there. Nope, you've waited in the airport long enough. Back on the plane you're going to wait out on the tarmac. We're not going anywhere, but hey, party. By which we mean we can't serve alcohol yet because we're not airborne. What kind of weird law is that? You can take us back to the tarmac after you have to take us off the tarmac for 3 hours of waiting on a plane that isn't in the air, but you can't serve booze. I thought we were better than that as a culture. I was hoping for more. Also, a woman totally puked on the plane on the way back, and so everyone's like, oh, turns out she was just she made herself puke to get away from a really annoying guy who was hitting on her. Who the police then had to escort because he was like a drunk Irish guy. Like, seriously, drunk. All of us, he was like, blah, 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 blah. Bleepity, 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 bleep, because he's Irish. And they finally take him away, and all of us, and the only thing, any of us who are waiting in the terminal now for hour 8 is like, where is he getting his booze? Because he can't have been that drunk for 14 hours from what he had 14 hours ago. There's no way. So, but now I'm here. Thor stopped having his little temper tantrum, and the weather abated, so we could take off. And I'm now here with you fine people, which I'd much rather be anyway. So thank you all for being so patient. You were gracious. So, show of hands. I mean, I've been to this con before, but it's been a few years. Show of hands, how many of you are repeat offenders to a Q&A panel of mine? Nice. Are you here to fact check me? Promise you the answer is going to be the same, unless it's what day is it, or something like that. So it's just a general Q&A panel. It's not my 18 and up yet. That's later. That's midnight. That gets raunchy. The spoken point is raunchy. I might let an occasional curse word fly. Shocking, I know. I may make an off-color reference. I hope I don't offend anyone. I really mean nothing by it. It's just I am who I am, so be prepared. General Q&A. Couple of rules, couple of guidelines I like to set before I start accepting questions is, rule number 1. I'm not going to call your best friend, or your sister, or your mother, or your voicemail, or whoever, and propose to them in Sebastian's voice. Not happening. Stay down. I'll be up here enjoying myself where I can see you all. No phone calls, nothing like that. Nothing halts a panel, like no one wants to see me on a phone for 5 minutes with someone who's like, who is this? Nothing. Or just like, ring number 8. When do they not know how to set the ring limit on their damn voicemail? Because it's like ring number 10 and it's still just, how you guys doing? So none of those things are kind of weird anyway. I feel really strange when the person's like, here, call my friend, they're totally gonna love you, and do Sebastian's voice. And the person goes, you don't sound anything like Sebastian. Actually, true story, real quickly before I get back to the guidelines. I had a guy come up to me drunkenly outside at a panel a couple of years ago now, and his friends were like, oh my God, you're Sebastian, blah, blah, blah. And when this guy comes over, he's like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, dude, this guy does Sebastian. He's like, let's hear it. Let's hear it. I'm like, hello, blah, 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 yes, my old blah, Sebastian, blah. And he just goes, dude, you sound better than the guy that got to do it. Which his friends were like, you stupid idiot. He's the guy. He's like, what? Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Will you sign this? I'm like, no. So that's first rule. Rule number 2, I like unique, creative, and fun questions I haven't answered before. So if you've seen a YouTube video, there's a few of them, of me answering the question you want to ask that is burning within you, I beg you, please think of a different question. Think of a different question. On that subject, I also like, for my own personal reasons, to avoid the favorites game. We all know that, right? It's an easy question. What's your favorite color? What's your favorite breath? What's your favorite, what? I mean, everyone wants to know your favorite something, and I can't answer that question for you. I don't care what it is. What's your favorite anything? Because I'm psychotic. Who here, when someone asks you, what's your favorite thing? Like, who, Doctor Who fans? Doctor Who fans? Anyone? Nice. Doctor Who fans, like, someone's like, who's your favorite Doctor? And unless you're like a Tennant fangirl, someone goes, who's your favorite Doctor? You're like, like all the others are going to instantaneously die the minute you answer. So, and I have this terrible fear that, like, you ask me, like, what's my favorite character I've ever played, that you have, like, magical powers that will instantly transform me into that character, and I'm stuck like that for the rest of my life. So it's like, Sebastian! Shit, that was a bullshit answer, no! So the favorites game, I like to steer clear of that because it's an easy question to ask, but a very hard question to answer. I can't rank my experience of the world into nice little tidbits because I just can't. I'm too crazy. I'm too indecisive. And all the characters I've played are like voices in my head, like literally now they're there. They're like your families at Thanksgiving, bitching at each other about whatever. And and if I were to pick a favorite, just to give someone a favorite, yay! And back in my hotel room, 80 characters are looking at me going, "You're a bastard. Why did you pick me?" So none of that. Apart from that, I'm pretty. He's allowed to use his cell phone. He's with security. No. So yes, no. Please ask new questions. Don't ask me the favorites questions, and don't ask me to, like. Oh, also, please don't ask me to sing. People always want me to sing for some god-awful reason. I promise you, this is not a journey you want to take with me. So let's all agree that my singing is not a good thing, and we should. No. But I'm doing okay. Without having to sing, so don't worry about me, I'm fine. And there are many people out there with gorgeous singing voices for you to listen to, so I mean, I can't do everything. I have to suck at something, right? It humanizes me. And last but not least, please, you have to understand I'm sarcastic and I will bust your balls because that's what I do. I mean nothing by it, it's just my shtick, so please don't take anything I say personally unless it's you are beautiful and I love you, because that I always mean. Shut up. Okay, it's kind of hot in here, so I'm going to take this thing off. Shut up, all of you. And my boyfriend is right there. This is awkward. All right, so who's got a good question to start us off? I think I see a purple sleeve. I think your hand went up a little while ago. You have a good question. Yeah, what's your question?
Yeah, my question is, do you prefer playing the good guy or bad guy, and why?
Do I prefer? That's a good question. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Good stuff, good stuff. Round of applause for the good opening question. Just all bought me time to think of an answer. I like playing villain. I mean, I don't know that I could choose one or the other, because I'm an actor, so I like work. So if they're like, do you want to play a dog? I'm like, yes, that is my favorite thing to do today. Because that is how I'm paying TXU for this month's electricity bill. So, actually, but I love it. I mean, acting is so much fun. It really is. And seriously, the best part of it is getting to conventions like this and wonderful people like you, because without you guys supporting us and being awesome the way you are, I'm just a crazy bastard in a padded room making funny voices. Which incidentally, I think we all know I'd be doing anyway. The difference is there's a mic in front of me and somebody pays me for it. See, Mom, I told you I'd be okay. So one day I'm going to actually open this bottle of water. I have to hand this off. Excuse me. That's a thing. That happens. Everyone get a picture now. Yep.
You're going to be doing with your windbreaker when you wake up. People are vultures. Why couldn't this happen at my 18-up panel? This is why people don't take actors seriously.
If any normal human being would be like, oh my god, I have to go, and I'm like, fuck it, take a picture. I scared of breath. Wow, it's really cold. What was that saying? Oh, villains. So villain they don't ever spill water on themselves. They tend to be very majestical creatures that are like, oh yes, I have this peacock on my head and this cigarette holder made of gold and I own 18 white pianos and a spaceship. I mean, villains typically are those guys that we all wish we could be. Not necessarily because they're rich and have a great master plan, but because they're assholes. No, bear with me. Sometimes in day-to-day life, we all really wish we could be the asshole, right? Like, who's ever been behind line and someone who's like, let me see if you guys have... Especially when the menu on the right side is the same as the menu on the right, and back and forth, and you're like, come on! There's a part of you that just wishes you could be like, excuse me, if I had a death ray gun, you would so be a pile of rubble right Fuck off and get out of mine. I'm hungry. I know what I want. You know, so it's very liberating. Basically, villains are those like self-actualized people that know exactly what they want out of life. They're obsessive and they know how to get it, however many dead bodies they have to go through or people they have to make look like they just peed themselves in front of eyes. They don't care. They're just gonna barrel on through and live life to the fullest. That's a senior citizen? Did you just say that's a senior citizen? You're acting like, wait, that's a senior citizen, right? They're right. They're like, their entire life is to get that special deal at IHOP. They don't care how many little kids they gotta kick in the balls to get there either. They're gonna get their goddamn chocolate chip pancakes. Oh, you notice I didn't have to wait till I was 50. When I hit 50, I'm either going to turn into like the nicest guy in the world, who like would give right away to a squirrel, or I will just start running over senior citizens just to have a reason to wash my car. So villains are very therapeutic because villains also, they don't know that they're villains. They don't think of themselves as villains. You'll never meet a villain, not a well-written one anyway, that thinks of themselves as the bad guy and revels in it. They think they're the good guy. They think everything they're doing is perfectly justified, and everyone else is just a dumbass who doesn't understand them, and if only you could see it through my eyes, blah, 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 blah. So their idea, that to them, the hero is the bad guy. He's getting in the way. Whatever she's getting in the way. So villains are very therapeutic because I've learned how not to be an asshole by playing villains, because you have to kind of inhabit that mindset to play that character correctly and to do justice without putting the audience to sleep by being the mustache-twirling bad guy. It doesn't actually exist. You have to play him real. You have to figure out his motivations, or whatever, and that humanizes a villain and makes you wonder. Like, everyone has the potential to be a villain. It's just a matter of knowing your own limits and knowing when you're being an asshole and how to stop. So people will be like, "Well, think of you as a nice person." I think it's so much more important to be a nice person in life than it is to be like, "I want this. Screw all of you." Because eventually you're going to get it anyway. Be like, "This was so worth it." Every time. So I like playing villains because they're very therapeutic. They're also really cool because without a villain, you don't really have a story. The hero can't really realize their potential as a hero unless a villain is like, yeah, deal with it. They're kind of the architects of the plot, and that's always fun. I got my first directing gig because I happened to be playing a villain in Aquarion, Genesis of Aquarion, which is a really quirky, fun show. I love it. It's a big, kind of giant robot show, Mecha. And I played the villain, who, it was a big ensemble piece, so it just so happened the villain, who was the chief architect of the plot, The only character that knew the entire story. So when the director had to quit, because they had to take on a stage role in New York, which they couldn't pass up, the producer said, hey, you're playing the bad guy who kind of knows everything anyway. Do you just want to direct the show? I'm like, well, yes, I do. And that's what enabled me to act full-time as well. So the films will always have a special place in my heart because I have a good voice for it too. Somehow, my voice just sounds like I'm smarter than I really am. And we expect our villains to be smarter for some reason. We expect them to be smart and together. I'm not, but I play that on TV. But heroes have their own unique qualities. Again, a well-written hero is worth their weight in gold as well. But villains, I don't know, villains. There's always, in anime we all know there's certain tropes that get, recycled all the time. Gotta love it, because it's fun, right? We know these things, we love it. We're like, it's like anything else we're nerds for. It's like, we love it. Oh, I've seen that before. I've seen that before. Let's see them do it this time, There's always a douchebag in glasses who's smarter than everyone. I will always have them. Thank you. Some more questions. Let's see. You in the front row. I'll pick these. Kind of. Explain that. What does that mean on any level? I kind of have 2 questions, so I'm going to answer like half of each. Kind of more of a request. I'm going to regret this, aren't I? Yeah. What's happening? What's happening? Would you like me to pull the water on my head? Go ahead.
Okay, so first I was wondering if I could record a video of you saying hi to my friend who was unable to be here and is a huge fan of yours.
He can't be that big of a fan. He's not. Oh, well, I have an idea. Why isn't your friend here?
It's a family thing.
It's a family thing.
Unfortunately, unable to attend.
Oh, well, you can film it. Say, okay, what do you want me to do? Now I feel bad. Thanks for bringing the mood down. Okay, so what am I saying? What am I doing?
Just say hi, Megan, or something like that.
All right, hi, Megan. Can you then do a sweep of the crowd and everyone says hi, Megan? Okay, awesome. Let me know when you're ready. I'm so nervous. Are we going? Oh my God. You got all that on film? They don't want to see how the sausage is made. Hello, Megan. I'm sorry you couldn't be here, but I think we're going to give you a big hug. Everyone give Megan a big hug. Ready? Your friend is awesome, but she's also really terrible at following instructions. We love you! Well, the Steins Gate movie. How many fans of Steins Gate do we have in the room?
Yeah.
Okay, there's always more every time I ask that question. It makes me so happy. I cannot legally talk about the Steins Gate movie yet. Neither confirm nor deny my involvement or lack thereof in the Steins Gate movie. So I do apologize. We have this little thing called NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, that they make that are ironclad. If I did happen to be working on the movie, theoretically, and I talked about it before the NDA expired, I wouldn't get to work on the movie anymore that I might be working on right now. But I can either confirm or deny my involvement in it. Timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly, you'll see. Toward the back of the room, you in the blue, yes, Full Metal, yes. Are you Mustang?
Yeah, Mustang.
Nice, well done, you look great.
Thanks.
You got a camera. Why do they always get the cameras when I look like I peed myself? Really? Gee.
It's kind of like a request. It's going to be a weird request, so just go with it.
Bring it. What do you got?
Could you just like sing in Sebastian?
Did you not? I don't sing, so I can't
Never
sing.
mind.
So revise it. I can do something else.
Okay, well.
I don't dance either. I'm not taking my shirt off.
It's my first time actually seeing you, so. And I got here late, so. Yeah.
Sorry. I love you. Do you want to like videotape me like saying something in Sebastian's voice? What were you going to ask?
Let It Go in Sebastian's voice.
Because that's an easy song. Let me just give you the breakdown. No, I can't. Oh my God, no, I can't do that. But I will advise you to let it go. Oh, darling. Hello, hello. Why don't I just say Sebastian's like 2 signature lines, and that way, anyone that wants me to do this, get your phones out now. So we don't have to do this anymore. I love Sebastian with all my heart, but oh my God. Is everyone ready? I'd like to point out there are more people that got their phones out to get a picture of me just freshly doused than there are now. Look at your life, look at your choices. All right.
Action!
What? She is so sick of my bullshit, isn't she? She's like, action! All right. If I could do this much for my young master, what sort of butler would I be? Followed by... Yes, my lord. You do know Sebastian wants to eat your immortal soul, right? Okay, I just want to be absolutely clear that you know this, right? You're like, oh my God! Like, oh, the bodice ripping over a demon that wants to kill you. I don't understand. I mean, he's very sexy, but it doesn't strike me as dating material. It's a little too thirsty.
I really don't care if he steals my soul. That's fine with me.
You're so young. I remember being young and not caring about my soul. Wait till you get out past 50 and you're like, I need a soul to get my IHOP senior meal. I was also in the black belt.
25, by the way, thank you.
You're welcome, darling. You're welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. A round of applause for this brave and commanding soul. Thank you. All right, next question. You, my dear, let's do like a plaid sleeve.
Awesome.
Oh, shit. It wasn't my fault.
I'm believing you, but it would have been perfect because it was her birthday yesterday. Big 25th birthday.
Happy birthday. Where are you? Are you at Happy 25th birthday.
Her favorite character in the world is Sebastian.
Shocking.
So, I know you don't sing, but I can do this. Can you rap happy birthday?
What's with the singing and the rapping and the doing of the things? I don't, oh my God, I guess it's better than having to wear rabbit ears. Okay. What? From the OVA? God, I hate grills. I'm so good at it. She's like, you sang the OVA? I'm like, just call me out in front of everybody. All right. I can kind of sing that because it's a very it's like a 3-note melody. I'm gonna try. God, you get up here and try it.
I'll do it.
I'll pour water on. No, sit down. If it's that easy for you, that misses the point. I'm like, well, stand up. Let's see. Oh, really? You're gonna be shy about. All you're gonna do is stand there and look pretty. I'm gonna sing to you in front of all these people who've been filming it. And that light, by the way, makes me think I've just died. My dead relatives that come out and offer me their hand. Come with us. Sorry. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, wow. Okay. It's your birthday, my dear. You're older by 1 more year. This special day, actually yesterday, you turned 25. See? May you live out your dreams. There you go. You're all sadists. Thank you. You're welcome, darling. You're welcome. All right. Questions. You little bear.
When you did Oron, was it sort of hard to slip into the horrible weirdness of the show, or did you just let yourself fall into it?
You're asking me if I had trouble slipping into horrible weirdness. I'm just going to restate it for you so that it kind of sinks in. No, I had no trouble at all. I don't see the show as weird at all. In fact, the show, in a very, very real way, reminds me of my experience as a teenager in high school. I mean, I didn't go to a rich school.
Elaborate.
Elaborate. I'm getting there. Patience. Where are you going? Where are you going?
Ramen.
To give me new pants?
Hey.
Ah, they're dry! Somehow I think the first part of your videos will get more views than this one. So in high school, I ran with a group of kids. We were the drama club, which is kind of like a host club when you stop and think about it. I mean, that's our job. And it was in Texas, so we always had to do crazy fundraiser things to get money to put on these productions we would do. Usually musicals or whatever. We did a womanless wedding where all of us dressed in drag. All of us dressed in drag. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna take out my phone and show you. No. You see, we did 2 years in a row. 1 year, I looked horrible. The next year, I looked amazing. I found my color palette. That was what they were doing. So we did stuff like that. But I mean, that was the crazy people I ran with. And my best friend was this crazy blonde guy who was always cooking up these insane schemes. I'm not kidding you. Like, I'm not kidding you. And I totally was in love with him. Right? It was one of those like, oh, I'm in love with you, but you're straight. Right, and that's, to me anyway, when I watch Oron, there's definitely an element of that. Okay, because why else would he put up with that shit? No, it's not because Tom McGee's a lot of things, but Tom McGee changed his life in the way that my friend Carl was his name, changed mine. And so I felt that show made so much sense to me. I was like, I get the dynamic, I get the crazy, and I get the role that Kyoya felt compelled to play within that group dynamic. He was kind of the mother hen, the one who's kind of dark and mysterious and a little snarky, but he's also the one making sure everyone else doesn't kill themselves by jumping, like bungee jumping off of, an 8-story building in deck shoes or something. I mean, that was me. That was me. I was not. None of us were sane. Because you're not sane when you're that age. It's impossible when you're a teenager. Between the ages of like 14 and 23, you are feverishly insane. There's just no getting around it, right? Then you become 50, and then you become a different kind of insane. But I mean, so I wasn't sane, but I was definitely the sort of feet on the ground kind of guy. Whereas my friends were more like, let's do this, yeah. And I'm like, all right, well, hold on, let's check to make sure we have the money for it. I'm like, we're doing a drag show? All right, well, let's figure out your color palette. So I got Kyoya a lot, and so I didn't have any trouble dipping into that show and getting. I fell in love with that show long before I got the chance to audition for it. Because I got to work on it from a writing standpoint. Monica Rial, who's a wonderful, lovely human being, is also one of the lead writers for Funimation. Has been for many years. I worked under her first as a writer myself on that show. She's also the actress who played. Bring it, thank you. Crazy witch laugh, monkey having platform girl in yellow dress. Thank you. She played that part of it, but she wrote much of the adaptation, so I got to, work with her on that. The first episode I happened to work on as a writer, time coding it's called, was the episode where it's like episode 8, the beach house episode. Otherwise known as the let me teach you a lesson with my shirt off episode. And that was the first time I was like, the show was so zany, like the first part of that particular episode, I was like, this is adorable. I love everything about this is crazy. And then that happened, that scene, and I'm like, what? And I was like, he's a complex guy. And he walks away from her like, oh, interesting notion in its own way, or something to that effect. I'm like, I really want to play this character. Because and that is death to an actor, oh my God. It's one of the worst things you could do is fall in love with a character. Because the thing is, this industry is about rejection. Meaning that you go into audition, and 9 times out of 10 you don't get it. And it's not because you're bad or this, that, and the other. It's just because there's someone else better that got there first, or you're just not who they're looking for. You're not the director, so you don't know what voice they want. You go in, you give it what you think it needs, but if it doesn't match, it doesn't work. And nothing is more heartbreaking in this business than really, 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 really wanting a character and going and giving it your all, and then finding out, oh, okay, I'm not playing them. Okay, well, thanks for letting me. I mean, it's just part of the reality. I signed off on it. I agreed to it. I know what I did before I was getting into. But Kyoya, against all the rules, I fell in love with that part, and I was like, I really want to play this. So I stepped into the booth, and I have never been more nervous when I've auditioned. for anything in my life before or since. And I got to play him, and it was a great experience. It was life-changing because it gave me perspective on a time in my life that I hadn't yet made peace with, you know? A lot of elements of my time as a teenager that still, at the time I was recording Auron, felt unresolved. And that show helped put it in perspective for me. It made me think back to those days and go, yeah, okay. And so it helped me make peace with a very interesting and turbulent but very beautiful time in my life. And I encourage all of you who have seen Auron and who love it to re-watch it as you get older, because its meaning, there's more to it. There's so much more to it, and it will offer a little more of itself each time you watch it as you get older. It will grow with you, and it will teach you things. If you find that you already relate to the show on a very deep level, as I suspect many of you do, watch it again 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and you will still relate to it, but in new ways. And it's just that good of a show. So thank you for bringing up Auron. That makes me very, very happy. I love talking about let's see. You, Levi, yes. Oh, the phone's coming up. What?
I have a request and a question.
A request and a question. What's the request?
Can you try to imitate Armin's voice?
No. No, sorry. No, I really can't. And let me tell you what. I mean, I'm very pleased to accept the request, and I mean, I'm not like busting your balls for asking it, but Josh Greeley, who plays Armin, is a very dear friend of mine. 2, I worked as the lead adaptive writer on Attack on Titan. Any Attack on Titan fans in here? That's a little show you may have heard of. You were, I think, at the Titan panel earlier, so you heard me talk about Armin and how much that character meant to me when I was writing the adaptation. Now, I never had any designs on playing the part because I'm not the right timbre of voice for that character. Because I don't have a, no. No one's gonna buy me as a kid that age, nor should they. I don't need that much work. But I mean, Armin was really the character that I latched onto as a writer because I got him. Not that I didn't get the others. All the characters there have something that resonates with you because that's why we love the show. It's so full of people that we know. You know, you're like, oh my God, that's so and so, that's me, or that's them, that's, you know, whatever. But Armin, and the way he talked, the way he dealt with bullies, and specifically the way he internalized the bullying, and had come to feel that any negative thing that was ever said about him by anyone was absolutely true, and anything positive was just off the mark, was something I related to. And I think most of us can relate to that. I touched on this earlier, too, with Titan. For some reason, most of us are wired that if someone tells us something really horrible about ourselves, just because, you know, maybe they don't mean it, or maybe they're an asshole, I mean, whatever, but we've all run into people that pick on us and say a horrible thing. For some reason, we're just wired to take that to heart so much easier, so much more readily than if someone says something good about us. You know, we never believe the praise we get, but we always believe the criticism. And Armin is a perfect example of that kind of kid who has just gotten to the point in life where he feels like, not only does he feel worthless, he feels like a liability to his friends, like he is holding them back. And that is something for reasons I don't quite want to get into really, because it's deeply personal, but I don't want to get into, that I feel Armin really for me is like the spokesperson for my whole experience of being part of that show. So he's very close to my heart. Josh Greeley's performance is so amazing, so pitch perfect in the role, because I know he relates to the character on just as deep, if not deeper, a level, that as lighthearted as your request really is, and I do appreciate it, I would never ever piss on his performance by trying to imitate it, because I think his performance is inimitable. So I appreciate you asking, but no, I would never do that to Armin. He deserves better than me. But what was your question?
So in the first season, when we first meet Undertaker, what did Sebastian do or say to make him laugh so much?
Oh, what did Sebastian say? A gentleman never tells, my love. Sorry. Well, I'm just disappointing all around, aren't I? Shall I sing for you? I'll do the dirty limerick. Do you want to hear the dirty limerick? Because that one was great. It's like, there once was a woman from Kew who filled her vajayjay with glue. She said with a grin, if they pay to get in, they'll pay to get out of it too. Thank you, darling. Thank you. All right, this side. You.
I saw a panel on YouTube with you, I think maybe Monica Rial a couple years ago, saying if there were more Black Butler, you would be happy to do it. Book of Circus just came out this past summer.
Huh. These are all, I'm not hearing a question. I'm hearing a bunch of statements. Lovely, lovely statements that made me very happy. What?
Really excited to hear that it was coming out.
Yes. First of all, actor. Work equals big heart. Like, hey, you got more work. I'm like, yes! I love roles I don't have to audition for. I'm like, oh, that's mine. There's nothing better than being able to go into the room and be like, go home, bitches, I nailed it. Right, never happens, but like, no. I really like working on that show. I love Sebastian. I know I make fun of, like, everyone's like, do this, Sebastian, because it's like, oh, but I love that show, and I love that character. I mean, Sebastian's just a fun voice to do, because it's the British voice, you see. But if I can be serious for a moment, too, the reason I can do a British accent pretty passable. I once had a British person tell me very recently that, oh, it's deeply, deeply competent, which is effusive praise from a Brit. They might as well have been asking me to marry them. They're profoundly competent, and, whatever. When I was a kid, true story, I didn't talk for a very long time because I had a debilitating speech impediment. And it was so bad that it literally kept me from communicating verbally. Because I was just too self-conscious, couldn't get through a sentence without making everyone in the room just pull their hair out and fall asleep. I still have that problem, but not because of a speech impediment, because I've been making up for lost time. The fact is, though, that I found my way into acting in theater because I had a speech therapist who discovered, much like the King's Speech, this is so like that movie, I'm like, oh, the feels. We found that if I could recite from a poem or a play, the stutter disappeared. So she got me into theater by saying, so I literally learned how to speak. Drama gave me a voice. She was a little British lady. So I was raised in Texas. Everyone in my family has a fairly pronounced Texas accent. I do not. I have a very clean, sort of neutral tone that slips very easily into British because the person that taught me how to speak was a little British lady. So every chance, for all the other, and there are millions of other reasons that make Sebastian an enormous fun and a challenge to an actor that we just love to rise to, but specifically my performance as Sebastian is kind of a Valentine to the little old lady from England all those years ago who taught me how to speak for myself. So, right. Weird that he eats souls, but oh well. Beggars can't be choosers, right? But yeah, it's also just fun to do that voice in public. I've told the story millions of times, but I'll tell it again because, you don't care. Somebody's having a religious, he goes, oh my God, he's gonna tell that story. He's gonna tell that story. What's happening? I was at a con a few years ago, and I stayed a couple of extra days to visit friends in the city, and so I, was at the same hotel after the con had moved on. And there are fewer things as sad or pathetic as a hotel after a convention. Because all of you are gone. It's just now normal businessmen, kind of slouch-shouldered, trundling their way sadly to their rooms to drink and watch porn. And the hotel just goes back to this horrible place we call normal. Gone are the festivities and the music and all the cosplayers and people going, hey, or bring Marco Polo. I love it. Well, I can't sleep at night at a hotel. I'm like, it's too quiet. It's too quiet. So I wasn't done being on, and I decided to go around to the hotel staff, which had since turned over. Everyone that was there, like on Monday, hadn't been there the whole weekend, so I had no idea who I was, and nor should they. So I go to the concierge desk, and I'm like, hello. I believe her name was Jennifer. Hello, Jennifer, how are you? I'm not from around here, you may notice. I'm just looking for a good place to find a nice steak, something really, really regional. Is there any place around you that I could, within walking distance, or that I could, not spend too much money on a cab to get to? And she just looked at me, what is that coming out of your mouth? Stop. To which I'm like, oh, I can't. Oh, I got my hooks into her now. And I'm like, I'm terribly sorry, is the accent too much for you? So and sometimes I have trouble enunciating, it's around here, people think it's, what did I just tell you? Stop, Deborah, come here. Deborah comes up, say something. Hello, Deborah, how are you? Lovely day, isn't it? And she goes, no, if you were my boyfriend and you spoke like that to anybody else, I would kick your ass. So there's just something about the British voice that makes you all want to give me your souls. Stop, I don't want them. What am I gonna do? I don't have the space for your souls. I'm sure they're all beautiful. Use them for other things. But thank you, yes, thank you for bringing that up. So the Book of Circus, maybe, possibly, perhaps. I'm very excited at the prospect of working on Sebastian. It's a neat idea. I could get behind it. Let's go towards the back of the room. Now, I see you in the aisle. Yes, you just pointed to yourself. I thought that was me. Thank you for not like looking behind yourself like the other me. No?
Well, there's only one me, so.
I can already tell that's true.
Thank you.
Nice jacket, by the way.
Thank you.
What's up?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, no, please, after you.
I was wondering if, say, if someone would want to get into the career of voice acting specifically.
Oh, don't
how,
do it.
I'll take
Mamas
your word for it.
never let their babies grow up to be actors. No, what? No, go on.
How would you, what would be first steps to trying to achieve that goal?
I am so not qualified to answer that question because of the way I got into this industry. So, like, if I were to tell you to follow my path, I'd be like, well, have a shitty cube farm job for 28 years, or until you're 28, and then someone you barely know comes and says, hey, do you want to audition for this role? Say no, and wait for them to trick you into doing it. Works for me. But it's a really strange path. Being an actor is you have to be in love with the life. Don't follow it because you want to be rich and or famous, because those things don't happen. I mean, here at a con, yes, you know who I am because I've also been working for 10 years and have been extraordinarily lucky. Extraordinarily lucky. There's just as many people in this business who are 10 times as talented as I am who aren't as well known. Because they just, for whatever reason. So I owe where I am in my life completely and utterly to luck. That's not to say that I don't work hard. I do work very, very hard. But so do many other people that never quite get their careers off the ground. So you have to give up this idea that you are entitled to a damn thing from the business, because the business does not need you. But I say that because I want to sink in that you have to be in love with being an actor. And that doesn't always mean that you'll get work. Work to have work, but you have to also, everyone likes the creative side of it because it's fun. It's very fulfilling. You get to inhabit other minds and pretend to be things. It's like one big game of pretend when we were kids, right? But there is a business side of it that nobody is interested in. And when they want to get into this, they feel like it's an easy job. It's not easy. There's certain aspects of it may come easily to you, but in the larger picture, it is work, and there is a business side of it that you have to familiarize yourself with. When people tell me, for example, that they want to be voice actors, my first instinct is to tell you, be an actor, because that's how it starts. Very few of us in this industry set out to be voice actors. We just set out to be actors, and voice acting was the thing that called us once we got in. But if you want to work as an actor, you have to be an actor, which means you cast your net as widely as possible. Be a voice actor, be a stage actor, be a this actor, be all kinds of actors, because the more you can do, the more you get the shot to do. Apart from that, study. You don't have to go to school and get a fancy degree, but you do need experience. You need to go. You need to work with other actors. You need to perform. It is not a craft you can find hone in isolation at home in front of a mirror. It just doesn't work. Everyone who tries that route, it just doesn't pan out for them. It is a social art, meaning you need to go find that playhouse that's auditioning, find that workshop, find that class, whatever. Any way you can get yourself into a theater or a workshop or somewhere where you are working with people who can tell you what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. Don't just come up to people and like a director or producer and be like, hey, so I do really cool voices. They're not looking for cool voices. I've seen so many people, totally with good intentions, approach me, like I can get them into the business. First of all, I'm an actor. I don't want you in this business. I'm already competing with all my friends. I don't need more people to make my job harder. But in all seriousness, if you come up, if you can do a really good Smeagol or a really good Benedict Cumberbatch, that's awesome, but that's not going to get you work. Why? Because they already have those people. They've got that. Your trick, your selling point as an actor is to be comfortable in your own voice and to be able to act naturally with your own voice. If you can do a variety of voices, that's amazing. Good, more power to you. And if they're unique, so much the better. But if you cannot convincingly act in all of those voices, you're not an actor. You're just a mimic. And while there is work for mimics, it's not as, it's not as lasting, and it tends not to be as profound as acting. Also, another very important thing, this goes for anybody in life who's looking to have a creative job, or whether it be a writer or a director or actor, but actor especially, I suppose, in this case. They will tell you all sorts of things. Anyone, I'll go do this, do this, do that. All of it very rich and important to know. But also, I think most importantly, don't be a dick. I'm dead serious. I know it's a funny thing to say, but seriously, don't be a dick. If you want to be an actor, be a nice person. Like I said earlier, it doesn't matter how talented you are. You could be the most talented actor of your generation. If you are an asshole, they'll go with the person slightly less talented because they can still get a good performance out of them, and they're not a dick. So if you ever get the chance, if you work hard and you get the chance to audition somewhere, say Funimation, or Sentai, or out in LA, or in Vancouver, where all the work is, awesome. Go in, be confident, believe in yourself, sure, but believe in the other people there with you, your directors, your producers, your engineers, your writers. And remember the receptionist's name. Always. Just be a nice person. You have to have a lot of luck to make it work in this business, even just to meet your bills at the end of each month. But and if luck is not on your side, it's not going to happen. But in my experience, luck favors the humble. Remember that. And best of luck to you.
Hey guys, just a heads up, we have about 5 minutes left, so I think we'll have about one question. So.
Awesome. Yes. One more question, or we can do we can do a quick lightning round. Just get quick questions I can be funny with, or whatever. So 5 minutes. Gorilla, go.
I was wondering if you knew that Black Butler had a musical.
Yes. It's kind of pretty awesome. I like it. You with the trim on your coat. Yes, that
Who
is.
do you Yowie ship yourself with?
Who do I Yowie ship myself with? This man right here. Yeah, he's not. I upgraded. What? It's true. My ex was very, very nice. He wasn't this Sith or Jedi? Ooh, tough decision. So many things. Sith. Let's be honest, it's more fun to be evil. You with the red bangs.
You have been one of my biggest inspirations to become a voice actor. Is there any way I can please have a hug after the panel's over?
Let me think about it. No, of course. Come up now. Give me a big hug. Come on. Oh my God, she's stealing my power. This is a ploy. This was all a ploy. God damn it. Okay, quickly. You, darling, you. Yes, you.
I was wondering if it was possible if I could get a picture with you really quick.
Oh my God, no, we can't. I really can't. Tomorrow, autographs.
Well, can I have a hug too?
You're gonna, oh my God. Can I just give you a figure? This is gonna get really awkward because I have to, here, let me just do this. Okay. Everyone sit down. Thank you, awesome. That's awesome, okay. No more hugs, no more requests. Question, I have to wrap it up. You, darling, I like you. I trust you. What is it? Doctor Who. Love it. The new Doctor? Peter Capaldi's a badass. I love Peter Capaldi. It's nice to have an older gentleman playing the Doctor in the classic style, and he's my kind of doctor because he's awesome and he has no time for your bullshit. You, purple hair.
America or England? France!
France can't choose. He's France. France wants everybody. France wants Pangea. You, darling.
Would you characterize Sebastian as a hero or a villain?
Why must we categorize Sebastian? Sebastian transcends our paltry categories. Heroes, villains, what day of the week is it?
He's just dead sassy.
You, darling, yes, the one who gave me the awesome rose painting. Thank you for that, by the way. That was badass. Brady, right?
Yes.
Badass, thank you. Brady, stand up. Everyone, Brady has beautiful hair. Thank you. What's your question? And I'll end on this one.
Favorite bomb you've left for someone, or favorite that you've received?
Favorite bomb? In the season of Italia in which little brother Italy is getting instructed on the birds and the bees by France. Let's face it, the most qualified person to teach. There's a scene in which he opens a book and he's like, well, you see, the two people love each other. And that's how babies are made, or something like that, right? So there was stuff there. In the script, the instruction was just improvise and be filthy. And so I knew Todd Habercorn, who I love, hadn't recorded yet. And I knew that the beep would only show up in post-production. So whatever I said would be in his playback. And he was. And I cannot repeat a word of what I said. But suffice it to say, he was in a couple of days later, and I happened to be there as well, walking down the hall. He walked out of the Italia studio and was like, hey, Tatum. I'm like, oh, you're recording the scene. Okay, guys, I have to wrap it up. I'm so sorry. Now, let me see, before I say anything else, let me just say thank you for coming. I have to jet out of here, so I don't have time to sign autographs or get pictures. We can do that tomorrow. Well, please come to my 18 and up panel if you're old enough. One day you'll be there. You don't want to know the stuff I'm going to say. So please, I ask you, be respectful of me and the guys that have to run out of here. I really thank you all. Thank you. You're awesome. Thank you for being patient and waiting a day to see me because American Airlines, fuck them. Yes, I love you all. Thank you for coming.